It's been reported that the Pussycat Dolls are struggling in ticket sales. The comeback tour that's supposed to kick off in a month and a half from now. Nicole, Ashley, and Kimberly, they postponed the rehearsals that were supposed to start this week till next week. It's making its rounds on Twitter, or X. I forgot it was called X now these days. A lot of empty seats remain available. A lot of stops on the tour. So what does that mean? It means people aren't interested. That's what that means. When you only have 3 members of a 6-member girl group show up and call it a comeback, a reunion, this is really half-assed. It's a cash grab, if you ask me. It's not like what we were getting in 2019 and 2020, what was supposed to be the original reunion. That was that. I would have definitely showed up for that and paid these prices for that. When you think of the splits and how Carmit especially was treated in that, what she would have gained from that, she only got, I think, 5% or something. It's pretty much a slap to the face to her. She's been a part of the Pussycat Dolls way before, like I think it was since the late 90s. So we got to treat these people better when it comes down to it. And Jessica, she's unfortunately unable to tour. I don't expect her to. She's spoken out too recently with her feelings towards this and how she felt like she should have been told about the upcoming tour, and contractually, because Robin and all that said was, it's just always a mess when it comes down to the contracts of things. It's got to be hush. You could kind of like let your other members know in advance that this is what's happening, but nobody reached out to Carmit or Jessica. The recent interviews, we saw the one with Nicole stumbling on what to say in response to the question of where's the other girls? Why aren't they included? She froze. She couldn't make up something out of her ass. So Kimberly stepped in and she said stuff that were like low-key digs. Let's protect our peace. And what that tells me, though, is that Jessica and Carmit spoke up. They probably wanted more. They felt that they deserved more, which they do. They're part of the group, especially Carmit. She was getting like, I think 5% out of the reunion that was supposed to kick off in 2019. So that's a slap to the face for her, especially she was an original member since I think the late 90s. And then here we are, she's kind of just put on the back burner of things, not involved or included in nor fucking informed of that there's a potential reunion tour coming. So, I kind of feel bad for little Kim and Maya being a part of it, but if this does get canceled, I'm not surprised. A lot of people want to see the full group. Now, there's some people that may disagree and say that, no, it's because Jessica, she would ruin it if she was present. No, because where are you guys now? Tickets aren't selling. Why aren't you showing up? Jessica's not involved. Where are you? So for me, I think based off a majority of the comments of what I see, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck of what Jessica's personal beliefs are. And when it comes down to the vaccine and such, I think she gets like a bad rep in what she has went through and what she speaks of. They call her an anti-vaxxer, but yet she's taken the vaccine twice. She developed issues from it, and she's now speaking out about it. And these issues that she developed from this vaccine is the reason why she can't go on tour again or can't be a part of the group moving forward. So, and then people call her MAGA or whatever the fuck. And it's like, no, she supports people that speak out against the vaccine. And unfortunately, that does fall into the circle and group of people that do support MAGA. We can't rob her or deny her experience in talking about it. We can't shame her for that. And it might warn a lot of people. For myself, I took the vaccine. I had a horrible reaction to it with my heart for 6 months. So I didn't take a second shot. Does that make me an anti-vaxxer? No, I do believe in vaccines. I do believe it helps people. But this particular vaccine, I will never, ever fucking take again. I kind of feel her on that. And then when you speak out about these things, you're labeled as a fucking asshole, like you're a problem in the world. But then when you ask logical fucking questions to these people that are so up her ass about this shit, they don't have answers for it. They just resort to insulting you and whatever the fuck else is, but they cannot answer it. So, but these are the same people that will be in the comments being like, I don't support this because so-and-so is involved because they support this and they speak out against that and blah, blah, blah. But where the fuck are you now? Tickets aren't selling. Also, this might just be karma for Nicole. For Kimberly, it seems Kimberly has like this fucking vendetta or some sort of like disagreement with perhaps Jessica, or maybe it's Carmit. But you can sense that there's some sort of dislike towards a couple of the members, and she's fine without them being there. You can't do things move forward with things that include other people, that involve other people, without including them, without at least informing them of the movement and how you're going to move ahead with the group without them. You should always invite them, even though they're physically unable to. You should still include them in the idea of the fact that, you know, we got this going on. What should we do, considering that, you know, what's your idea? What's your thoughts on this? It's always nice to just be included. And then at that point, Jessica can decide, you know, I can't do it, but thank you, girls. I wish you well. You know, it's always got to be based off of good energy. But the way this whole fucking thing has, ever since, you know, way back, this whole shit has been dirty with Nicole, and the way things go about, you know, for the longest time, we wanted to hear the other girls on these songs too. It's very clear that they can sing a decent tune. They all done the solo music. Also, you know, they sing numbers and charts and stuff, especially Jessica. So when you resort back to this girl group and you're stuck holding a fucking microphone that's turned off and you can't even sing on this shit, why would you want to go back? It's true. And especially when you're pretty much a shadow to this one person that's profiting off of your image and being a part of something, and you're not rightfully getting the numbers that you deserve. That's a part of it. So, but also in defense of Nicole, she's looking out for herself in the whole contract of the whole situation too. It's you know, it's all business. That's what it really comes down to. And everybody's really treating it as such. When you see someone like the lead singer moving for herself and about herself, making it about herself, looking out for herself in the situation, you're going to start looking out for yourself too. You're not going to consider the other people involved. You're going to be, you know, no one's got my back but me. I'm going to make sure my numbers are good and fucking what I get out of it too. So at the end of the day, we can at least have 5 girls. I don't think Jessica will return. You know, Melody's made it very clear that she's not coming back. This is just a fucking mess. And I think we can just thank Nicole for the situation, because it is just what it is. And I don't feel that anything built off of anything selfish is going to prosper or blossom into something beautiful and have a great outcome. And that is why we are seeing what we're seeing. The result is greed. And what do you get? No one wants to show up and pay these fucking ticket prices for just fucking 3 members. Meanwhile, we just see Nicole and then 2 fucking lip syncers, backup dancers at that too. Throw 2 more in there, I'll show up. You know, that's what it is. I want to see the whole group. I don't give a shit. I had a feeling that this was going to be canceled due to the lack of sales and what I saw in Toronto and Montreal. And here we are. Everyone's making their rounds on social media talking about how tickets aren't selling in their location and elsewhere. And the fact that rehearsals got postponed for another week, you know, it's not looking too good. I wish them well, but I also do wish that they do things properly and respectfully, including all the girls involved. So this way, you know, it's always built off of good energy moving forward. Anyways, guys, you know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time.